Hey, how's it going? If you've seen this video, it probably means that you've seen Powerhouse's new update of the ticketing information and the seating charts. And plus, I wanted to give a little update on like ticketing experiences and the like of that. So, let's get started with the basics, shall we? So, Powerhouse is hosting Monsta X for the third time. Usually, Powerhouse is pretty darn good with everything. Security is another issue, but usually it's pretty good. So in Dallas, July 25th is when Monsta X will be there at the Verizon Theater. Houston in July 27th at the Smart Financial Center. On July 30th, Atlanta with the Fox Theater. New York, August 3rd with the Hulu Theater. Chicago, August 6th, Rosemont, and Los Angeles on August 10th at the Staples Center. As per this information photo, I guess, Los Angeles is the only GA general admission, so standing venue. A lot of people were wondering if other stops had general admission, and I don't think they would, because why would they make one different than the other? Because if you look at Los Angeles, you have the P1 high titch and GA pit, which is $215. Then you go to P2, you have general admission, or you have P2 with no general admission. Looking at the seating chart that was released today, it makes sense, and because you can see like little pits and you can see the seated areas. That does not mean that people will not be standing during the concert. That's far from it. Last year at any concert that they held, people were standing at their seats. So I think the only difference between general admission and having seated is that you have a spot, a reserved spot that you can stand or sit at. And also it helps people that maybe can't stand for long periods. So having GA included in the description lets them know that I cannot get this ticket because I cannot stand for that long. That's why I think that they only included GA for Los Angeles. So yes, people will be standing at the concerts, but they'll have their assigned seat. So if standing for long periods bothers you, you're fine with any stop that doesn't include GA. And if you don't want to wait a long period of time, like camping, then just avoid the the GA. I'm saying a lot of ums. I'm sorry. This is quite spur of the moment because I realized that a lot of people still had questions when I was going through the groups and forums and the posts on the groups. There we go. The only place that I think has actual general admission where you have to stand the whole time is Los Angeles, because the other ones don't mention GA and they all look seated. When you look at the seating, like, instead of looking at the seating chart, you look at pictures of what the seats look like in real person. Like, some of them look like they're bolted down, blah, blah, blah. And last year in Rosemont, it was seats in the pit, so I know people will start to a lot of people are arguing that, like, well, last year people were standing, blah, 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 but no, that's not it. If it doesn't say GA, it's probably not going to be general admission. They would have addressed that the same way they did Los Angeles. I've said that a couple times. Anyway, next is the tiers. So what's new this year is that we have Ultimate VIP. So last year and the year before, we had P1, P2, P3, P4, P5. And they all had, like, I think the first three, P1 had, at least in the first tour, was a photo with the Monsta X, which went horribly because there was like 20 people per photo, and a high touch. P2 also included the high touch. Then next year, P1 included high touch and a laminate. Last year, P1 included a laminate, signed laminate. They say signed, but it's just like a copy sign. So this was the laminate. You can see there's their signatures. It says VIP, but it was just P1 at that time. This year, it's actually VIP Ultimate and then P1. So P2 doesn't have any benefit, I guess. So if you want to at least have a high touch with the boys, it's P1 or Ultimate VIP. So if you're curious about that, if you're kind of like on edge, like I want to high touch them, but I don't want to pay that much money, what do I pay for? You want P1 at the least. Ultimate VIP includes the high touch, a send-off. So this is what... So every year that Monsta X has been here in the past, everyone has gone to the back of the venue and sent them off anyway. So why they're including this as Ultimate VIP and how they're going to be able to distinguish at night in dark who's Ultimate VIP and who's not, I don't really know, because people are going to swarm anyway. So it'll be interesting how to see that, to see how that will work. With Ultimate VIP, you get the signed merch item, the VIP laminate, and I think that is basically just this. Like, I know it says VIP high touch includes VIP laminate, and I think it's that. But the signed merch item, I think, is just basically this. It could be different. It could be an actually signed item, like individual, which I would feel so bad for the boys if it was. Ultimate VIP also includes early entry only for the LA show. And that's because they're a general admission. So this, again, reinforces my thought process that the only stop with actual general admission standing up the whole entire time is Los Angeles, or else other venues would have that same early entry. VIP high touch, which would be basically P1 plus high touch. High touch with VIP laminate. So like I said, I think it's just literally what that is. Not necessarily at the front of it, but this. I just noticed that LA's P1 is a lot more expensive than any other P1. Because normally it's $199, unless you're in New York where the fees are already applied and it's $205. So, yeah. If you want just the high touch and the VIP laminate, it is $199 or $205 with fees. Unless you're going to LA where P1 and high touch is $215. That seems like it's wrong. But yeah, make sure you plan accordingly what you want to do, because the Ultimate VIP seems to be about $50 more than any other option. Yeah, $50. As for Ultimate VIP RVSD, I have no idea. I don't think anyone has any idea what the heck it means. But anyway, moving on. So today, about noon my time, which would be like 11 a.m. Eastern, I had actually sent off an email a few days ago asking Powerhouse, what will the Ultimate VIP entail? I'll actually read you the email. So from me to Powerhouse. Hello, from experience I know that some Ultimate VIP tickets for other artists can't not be resold or transferred. I was wondering if that applies to the Monsta X tickets as well. Your answer is greatly appreciated. Thank you. Blah. So they never responded to me, but today they released this important notice. And this is very, very important for people to really be sure that you want that Ultimate VIP, because it cannot be transferred. Ticket delivery for the Ultimate VIP tickets is restricted to will call only. The original purchaser must present valid government-issued ID to pick up the tickets the night of the show. So this is just to discourage scalpers and people that want basically not true fans. So for people that buy it then realize, oh, I don't have enough money, I should sell it, you're out of luck. For people that buy it and realize that they can't go, you're out of luck. So be very sure that you can go and that you can afford it. Because the only way, and I The only way that you can sell this is if you're there the night of the show and you give it to the person that wants to buy it. That's the only way that you can sell an Ultimate VIP, and that's the only way that you can buy an Ultimate VIP for resale. So that means if you see someone selling a VIP Ultimate VIP, I switched that, make sure that they say pick up at venue. It cannot say electronic deliver, because that does not exist. They have to pick it up the night of the show. So they have to be there. I expect like a down payment just so that the seller is not suddenly left with nobody buying their ticket. Because I wouldn't expect people to just, oh yeah, I'll come on the night of the show to pick it up, blah, 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 thank you so much, blah, 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 not show up. Like, that happens. That happens. So I probably expect like a down payment, which is reasonable, but do not pay the full price for the ticket before having the ticket in your hands or seeing it in their hands. Because they could say, yeah, I'm waiting for the will call, let's wait for the will call together, blah, blah, blah. They take your money and then they just disappear. They haven't gotten their ticket from the will call, you don't have the ticket, and you can't pick up the ticket. So if you are buying an Ultimate VIP on resale, make sure that you wait with them at will call until they have the ticket physically in their hands. Otherwise, it's very likely that they can still scam you for their money. There is a 2-ticket limit for Ultimate VIP and P1 with high touch. So these are the only 2 ticket tiers that have the 2 per transaction limit. So if you have a group of 3 and want Ultimate VIP, it's not likely that you're going to get it unless you do what I say and go the night of and pick up a 3rd VIP Ultimate. Unless, of course, you're in LA, where it doesn't matter which zone. Actually, Ultimate VIP in LA is general admission, so you don't need to care about where the ticket is unless it's RSVD, I think. I don't know. Somewhere, Powership, I almost called the Starship, had said like it's a reserved seating, like front row or something. I don't know. It's not any more expensive, but it's weird. But aside from LA, it will be difficult to get more than 2 next to each other. So I've been saying, like, you guys can trade. Like, trading is always an option. Like, if you have someone that has I keep calling it VIP, Ultimate VIP, and you have Ultimate, I almost called it, wow, and you have Ultimate VIP, it's not likely that you're going to scam each other. Because both of you have to wait at will call for the other ticket, and both of you want to trade. So P1, same thing. Like, you can trade, you don't have to wait at will call. That's only with Ultimate VIP. But P1, you can go to the groups on Facebook, go on Twitter, and find people that are trading their section. As for the other tiers, there's a limit of 6. So I expect like Scalpers to go after those. I expect Scalpers to go after all the tickets, but with a much more difficult time with the Ultimate VIP and P1, which is what we've wanted for years, is for a hosting company to try to deter or prevent scalpers from getting the good tickets and selling them for ridiculous prices. Case in point, last year and the year before, me buying my P1s at a very high price. So there is a warning that orders exceeding the posted limits will be canceled. There's one thing that we're not quite clear on, is if it is just per transaction or per household. So that's still kind of up in the air. People have left questions, but we're still not sure. However, if you're buying like a ticket in a different location, like New York, LA, Chicago, wherever, I don't think that applies to it. Like, you still have the basic 2 limit and the 6 limit, but it's not like, oh, you have 2 for New York and you have 2 for Chicago, like your order's going to cancel. I don't think it's going to do that because it's a separate event, basically. The seating charts are available. You can go to powerhouselive.net and go view them. I'll probably have them flashing up on the screen for you guys to see. And of course, the additional fee. Each venue has a fee that they charge. Ticketmaster has a fee that it charges. AXS has a fee that it charges. So do not go into it thinking that you only need $169 to buy a P2. No, you got to pay tax if it's applicable, and you've got to pay the fees if they're applicable. So the only place that has the fees included, as I said, are New York, and that's only the venue fee. So there might still be the tax. I'm not sure what tax is in New York. 8.875. So it's not much compared to where I live, it's 15%. Some people were confused what will call means. So will call is an old term. It's actually an abbreviation of the full term, the full phrase of what it should be. It's, I will call upon your services. Basically, it means that what it actually means is that you go to the box office and you pick up your ticket from the customer service person. Why it's called will call is just like an old theater, an old English term that hasn't yet died, and I don't think it will die because theater terms never die. But yeah, when you say will call, it's not because you don't have to call the venue. Venues don't answer phone calls unless it's for questions. Like, they won't help you buy tickets. I think the only place was Atlanta. But you do not call the venue to buy tickets for basically any of the other ones. Like, you only get the tickets from powerhouselive.net or Ticketmaster or AXS, depending on which venue you're going to. So will call is literally you going to the box office, picking it up. It's not that, nothing to do with actually calling anybody. Nothing like that at all. As for purchasing tickets, always have 2 ways to buy tickets. So I go with my phone, and I always go with my computer. So with AXS, the app does not recognize Monsta X for me. Like, I look up Monsta X on the AXS app, and it doesn't come up. It doesn't matter how I type it or anything, it just won't come up. With AXS, sorry. I said it in the video, but Monsta X does not come up whatsoever. Oh my god, it finally showed up! Oh my god! It just took forever. Like, I'm glad that I have it on camera that it didn't show up earlier. So, this one shows you, like, everything that... So I guess this kind of confirms that the signed merchandise item is different than that laminate lanyard thing that I showed you. So here's the RSVD reserve. Sorry, I can't remember anyway. So it's the first 2 rows of the concert, I guess. It's the same price as the Ultimate VIP, so I don't really... Well, it's reserved seats, so I don't know. That's why I suggest having 2 ways to try and buy tickets. Because a lot of things could happen. You might get a notification as soon as you're trying to buy something, which, have your phone set to do not disturb, because that kind of impeded me last year, is that I got like a message after message because people were freaking out trying to buy tickets, and I couldn't purchase my ticket and I had to buy resale. With Ticketmaster, you can call them. I don't know if you can call AXS to buy tickets. Oh, now for AXS, you don't talk to someone. It's a voice automated system. So you say Monsta X for Los Angeles. And like, it's a very slow process. I would not recommend calling AXS. I would not recommend at all. Make sure you're everything's updated. Make sure the app is updated, make sure your phone is updated so it doesn't randomly do that update available, or your computer doesn't suddenly go updating and you're just like, no, tickets are on sale in like 2 minutes. So make sure everything's updated. Hi, dog. Set your phone to do not disturb so nobody messages you. Make sure that you have your forms of payment, have more than one form of payment available, because sometimes some places do not accept certain cards. Where I'm Canadian, I have a Visa debit, so online it counts as a Visa card, and in-person it counts as a debit card, and when I cross the states or go international, it counts as a Visa card. A lot of places do not accept a Visa debit, so I have to have my actual credit card available. But I like purchasing with my Visa debit because it's my bank account. Like, it's not borrowing money, basically. So always have 2 forms of payment available because one might not work. When to start waiting for tickets. Usually with Ticketmaster, they have a waiting room. It's been a while since I used AXS, and I think they had a waiting room as well. So usually I go about an hour before, just so that I have, in my mind, I'm in line. Whether the algorithm actually works that way, I'm not sure. Because I know that waiting... Sorry about that, I had been playing mouse and cat with the vet. Where did I leave off? Oh, waiting. So from experience, waiting for a longer period, like waiting for more than an hour, doesn't seem to help your chances with with the waiting room. It seems like just it's hard to say. It's really hard to say what their algorithm says. I wish I could view their algorithm, but that would also be cheating, wouldn't it? I know I have a lot more tips and tricks with my previous like Monsta X experience with Ticketmaster versus AXS. I still prefer Ticketmaster over AXS. I always will. Let's see. I think the biggest problem I had last year is that the system kind of crashed, like the Ticketmaster system. Because you'd click and then it'd be like, it wouldn't say no longer available, it just boot you out and you'd be sent back to like the back of the line, basically. Now, buying through Powerhouse, it is a headache, it is a struggle, but it is possible to get great seats from powerhouselive.net. Usually every year, the site crashes because everyone just floods to it because no idea what that was. Everyone floods to the website and usually it crashes because the server can't handle the amount of people that go there. I've never personally gotten a ticket off of powerhouselive.net, but I know people that have, and they're usually like great tickets. Like they get their P1s, they get what they want, basically. Using the website, I'll probably have like a little video clip of me going through with my phone because my phone actually includes a screen recorder, so it's awesome. So if you go to powerhouselive.net, you can see Monsta X up in this top corner. If you click that, on the actual website, you just hover over it. You can see all the different locations and their dates. So if you go to like New York, you can see all the information. They have their ticketing information. They had the actual seating chart. Don't know what parking is. I don't see anything for it. Usually with with this one, it'll have like a little box that kind of like what this box looks like. That'll have like tier and number of tickets that you want to buy. But yeah, it has everything that you would need to know for information wise, and come tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern, it'll have the tickets actually available, ready to buy. With Powerhouse, just make sure that you're signed in and that you have like your ticketing, like your information all set out. It just did not work for me last year at all. The server crashed, obviously, as I just said. but it does result in great tickets if you have the luck. What else can I say about ticketing? I feel like I covered the general confusion that some people might have with this year's ticketing. And it's really up to what you're willing to pay for and what you're willing to withstand, basically. Do you really want that signed merch item? Do you really want, basically, a signed merch item for $50 more and to see them off at the end of the show? Which last year came free, so like I said, I'm really curious how that's going to work. Or do you just want to high touch them and get a VIP laminate? So right now that's my struggle at the moment, because I do have a lot of signed items, so do I really need another signed item? But it might be an exclusive item. You never know. I know for a fact that people will sell the item because they always need money at some point. And I am a hoarder and I do not let go of any of my stuff. So I'm just kind of debating with myself, like trying to reassure myself that if I don't get Ultimate, it's fine. Like, do I want it? Yes, because it's right next to the stage. That's pretty much why I want Ultimate, is because it's right next to the stage, because the girl's blind. But last year, I was actually, this was in the Chicago show. No, not the Chicago. This was in New York, yeah. Actually, Newark, because it was in New Jersey. What was the name of the theater? I don't remember. Anyway, I was in like the peanut gallery, basically, to the side of the stage, and I enjoyed it. Like, it was a P2, but it was kind of far away, but I enjoyed it. Like, everyone sat down and just enjoyed themselves. Like, they didn't have to stand to see anything because we were high up. I was at the front of it, so I was terrified of falling over because girl has a fear of heights. But P2 wasn't bad. I enjoyed it because I was to the sides, and yeah. And I know that most of the venues have staged, is that leveled seating. We'll go with leveled. It's probably not the word that I want, but they have leveled seating. So basically, it's like a movie theater. It just goes down. You're not all flat. Unless you're in the pit in LA. Good luck with that. I am not going to get pit in LA. I've been there once before. Actually, if I count KCON, 3 times before, not doing it. Not again. Ugh, girl. And I've camped for Monsta X once during the first World Tour, and I'm not doing that again. Putting contacts in at 10 a.m. after being up since... I was up for a very long time, actually. Yeah, I'm not camping. So good luck to those of you that will be camping and will be going to the Ultimate VIP in G. So good luck to those of you going to camping in front of the Staples Center on August 10th. I will see you in a seat. Yeah. Do not be afraid of resale. I suppose I can talk about scammers. I know I talked about it in my last video, but I'll talk about it again because they do have different strategies. They also have different strategies, anyway. Do not be afraid of buying resale. Just be smart about it, and know what to look for fakes. So always ask for someone to do something with the ticket. I'm not sure if it's going to be a physical or electronic. I'm pretty sure it's going to be electronic because they were all electronic I was going to say yesterday. Electronic before. So instead of just asking for a name over, like, say this is the ticket, instead of asking for a name over, like, on a piece of paper, people know how to do Photoshop. People are very skilled at doing Photoshop. So ask them to hold the paper and do, like, I don't know, a finger heart, I guess, or a peace sign. Like, ask them to do something with their hands. Ask for a specific direction. Nothing that can be photoshopped in. So maybe, I don't know, have a black Sharpie covering the order number with you holding it with finger hurts, I guess, like that. I don't know how you take a picture of that, but I'm sure it's possible. Just be smart. Like, don't just ask for a name over top the ticket. Like, that's just not enough anymore because Photoshop is something that people are well versed in. Be aware of what the tickets look like. So last year, it was a large email, basically, just with Chicago, where it was a physical ticket, where it was at the Rosemont Theater. They had roses on their ticket, I think. Yeah, they had a rose on their ticket. Never, ever, ever use friends or family for PayPal. Never do that. Do not send them an indirect transfer if you have that option. Don't do that. Always go through groups and services. Always have a way to get your money back if it turns out to be a scam. In the Facebook groups, I should say, there's always a list of scammers. People are blacklisted basically. So it's good to verse yourself on who they are and how they present themselves to sell their stuff. It's always a good idea to be part of like anything that includes blacklisted people, so you can have a good idea of who to look for, telltale signs of what's fake, what's not. I try to do a good job with the New York Facebook group, trying to tell people who's a scammer and who's not. And of course I monitor, along with the other admins, who is a scammer. So I will say, warning, scammer, proceed at own risk, or do not deal with this person. Just because a lot of people, basically nobody is as addicted to internet as I am. I see a lot of what's going on. Like, I'm part of a lot of groups, so I get to see like so-and-so is on this group and has been scamming people that want to go to LA. Well, I take that information, I bring it back to New York in the unlikely event that some people in that group are also going to LA and are not part of that group, or are part of that group but don't get notifications about posts. And if that person that's scamming comes to New York and tries to scam people there. Because one thing about scammers, they don't got tickets, they just want your money. So they don't care where it is. They'll just say, oh, I got a ticket to New York. Oh, I got a ticket to Chicago. Like, they just want your money. They don't care where you are. So yeah, I try to be very careful in my groups to let people know. So if you're going to New York, try to find the Facebook group. I don't know. I could probably put it in the description, but it's a closed group, so there's like 3 questions, 2 of which are just, yeah, okay, and the third one's an actual question that you guys need to answer. But yeah, just be very cautious trying to buy things online. Ask for proof of sales, proof of buying the ticket, I guess. Trying to think. Like, it's so hard now because people are so versed in Photoshop. It's ridiculous. Just be careful. If you're going with SeatGeek or Vivid Seats or what's the other one? StubHub. There we go. Wow. Mine gone. SeatGeek, Vivid Seats, and StubHub all have a buyer's guarantee. So if it turns out the ticket is fake, so you get to the door and they turn you away because it's a fake ticket, you just call a number. It's always best to have the number pre-saved to your phone in the case that your data doesn't work or some random reason you can't look up what the number is right away. So always have the number saved to your phone, like have it saved as Vivid Seats, have it saved as StubHub. Always have it saved. So that if you do run into the problem, you can call them right away and they'll discuss with the venue and try to get you a seat of equal value. Like they will try to get equal value first and then they'll settle to whichever seat is available closest to the seat level that you paid for. I would advise against using any other site that doesn't include a buyer's guarantee, just because things can happen that you just like, I had just thought of something to say and it went. Oh, so if you're trying to buy like more than one of the P1 or Ultimate VIP and you're, like say you're going with a parent and a friend, but you want the Ultimate VIP and you can only buy two, because that's the limit. As much as it angers you and as much as it's frustrating to a lot of people, it's the best thing that Powerhouse can give us, and it's the best thing that anyone has ever done to try to deter scalpers. So frustrating, yes, but in the event that you're trying to get three, can only get two, you buy a third one from resale, remember what I said about that, always go with your parent. If you're under 16, go with your parent, because I have seen, like last year was kind of heartbreaking at the Chicago venue to see how badly people were treated. Like it was horrible. The security was very nasty to a lot of people. I know that a girl, like her dad helped her out, helped her keep calm, helped her like deal with security, like deal with the Powerhouse and get back into the show, because Powerhouse said, no, it's not an issue, just go back in. It was to do with cameras. So devastating to see her experience with the security, because it was just, I'm very glad her dad was with her, because it would have been, she was not in the state to be able to stand up for herself and fully explain the situation without being in tears. It's always best to have a parent with you, because they're able to reason and get the things that you need. If you're suddenly like traumatized, like, oh my god, what's going on, and you kind of shut down, but a parent can be like, okay, I need to speak to the Powerhouse manager, whoever it is. I need to speak to the manager of your security team. I need to speak to the manager of the venue and figure this out. If you can keep your cool, that's great. And if you want to go with friends and you end up being in separate areas, try trading. If the trading doesn't work, it's fine. Like I've been alone, except for the first year where I had Jules with me. But last year I was alone at both stops and I enjoyed myself. Like it was great. Because Mon.G are a family. We are all family. There's no such thing as strangers, basically. We're all friends, we're all family. We all are here for the same reason. We're here to watch Monsta X and go crazy. So yeah, all the horror stories of the security at the New York venue was just, it was bad. So yeah. Hopefully the security will be actually updated to what people are allowed to do, because it was very, yeah. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy. Good luck with your ticketing adventures. If any of this is new information, or if I have missed any information, please leave a comment down below. I do try to reply to comments about ticketing information, just because if I know the information, or if I know where to find the information, I like to point people where to go. But yeah, I'm working tomorrow when tickets go on sale, so hopefully I can only buy one ticket tomorrow, because a certain missus got sick, and I spent a little bit too much money on her, trying to make her figure out what was going on. All the tests were negative. She was just having a day. A very nasty day. I came home to blood everywhere, basically, and there was no cuts on her, so we kind of had to go to the vet, but yeah, expensive. So yeah, I don't have enough money to actually pay for 2 tickets, but I'm trying to get at least one, which will be an Ultimate VIP. But again, I said I'm comfortable with not getting an Ultimate VIP because it's just a signed merch item and a send-off, basically. If you'd like me to talk about hotels and booking websites, leave a like on this video because I would have money for the tickets if this certain website had not cheated me out of my money. The hotel's fully paid for now, but it said free cancellation. It said that prepayment, like a down payment, would be accepted from any amount. Anyway, basically, I don't get the money that I was supposed to have, and I don't get paid until next week. Bad things come in threes. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye! So if you go to StubHub, you might see tickets for sale right now, but it just people. Yeah, people are just anticipating getting tickets and then selling them off. So this is how you, like, look at this. Scalpers are, like, on their way to... There's already selling for $962. Are you me? Anyway. Well, here's a good example, actually. You see lower 100 and lower 102. These cannot be sold. So I'd probably report them. I'll actually report them right now. See if I can report it. But you cannot purchase them at all because, girl, it's will call only. But yeah, I'll probably report them for that. But yeah, I can't believe people are selling them already.